You ready?
All day.
Welcome back to Crazy Juicy Love Podcast. And I got one of my girls here, Miss Tami Zakire, the creative director of Tami Zakire Coaching, a nonprofit. Is it the Growth Source Academy? Is that one? Yes. Welcome, Tami. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Jimmy.
Yeah. So right off the bat, tell me, how did you even was inspired to coach? Why did you start your business? Why this is important for you in this time in your life right now?
Yes. Well, hi everyone. Yes. What really inspired me around coaching was that I got coached. I've been getting coached for about 4 years now. And I just see my life expanding in so many different directions, and my head and my thoughts go in different directions. So with the coaching that I got was so powerful. I got to see where I get stopped in my life. I get to see where I'm not performing in my life, what the areas that really matter to me. And then I'm like, wait a second. This coaching really affected my life to where I'm effective, I'm efficient, I have more time freedom, I have more money, I have better relationships with people, I'm connecting with people. And I'm like, I want to be a coach. So then I took on coaching for 2.5 years, and I chose to start my own business in coaching a niche market. And my niche market is women entrepreneurs. And I am adoring all of my clients, my past clients. People call me all the time for coaching. And it's amazing. I get to hear what people are really creating out in the world. People quit their jobs and go towards their passion, and they're living their best life. Right. So the coaching for me has allowed me to coach other women.
Right. And now, because I was on your website, and that's really prevalent of really living your best life. And, one of the distinctions you have on your website is designing your dream. And the other thing too, you said, one of my questions was, how do you connect people to what they're passionate about? How do you help them design their dream and really connect to their passion? Because a lot of people get stuck and in jobs and think, well, how do you know, or how do you connect people to what is their passion? How do they know that this thing is their passion, what they're doing? And how do you go by coaching, and how do you start that journey with your clients?
Yes. Great question. Because it's very hard to find your passion. If you think it's hard, it's going to be hard. And so what I got coaching around in my life and how I coach my clients is we look at what really lights them up, what really inspires them. I have a client right now where she is she works for nonprofits, and she runs her own businesses, and she's a singer. She loves to sing. And so this weekend, and she's actually going to go perform 10 songs. And I coached her today, actually. And she's like, I don't think I could do it. I don't know what's I don't even know. This is what I love doing. I love singing. And so that is her passion. So she's leading with her heart and being a contribution to the people in the crowd. And she just has shifted her context around, will they like me? Will they love me? I don't care if I fail, to I'm sharing myself and my voice and being a contribution to others and connecting with people, because she's a connector in all of her businesses. So she connects with singing, that's her heart, her soul, her joy. And she's like, I'm now a singer. So she relates to herself as a singer and a businesswoman, and she's soaring, and it's amazing. So to find your passion, there's certain questions I ask all my clients, what lights you up? And if you don't know what your passion is, look at your life right now and see what's not working.
Right.
What's not working in your life is what? Your job, your relationships. And then my coaching, we shift the context of how you talk to yourself and how you talk to the world and communicate what you want to the world. And if you want to find it, it will come to you.
Right. Two things, because we talked a little bit about this before we started. Talk to me about when you're coaching and the women that you're dealing with, like, what are some of the common thoughts and voices that people come up against? Because I don't think people realize that there's a little voice in your head that are stopping you, that is really not you. It's basically other people's opinions and things you've read on the news, and they filter inside your head, or something that happened to you in the past that really sends you on this trajectory of your life that some of us don't really want to be on. So what are some of the common things that you run up against when you starting out with a client?
Yes. Well, we all have this inner voice in our head, and it's called an asshole. It's the asshole that stops us in all areas of our life.
Yes,
and
it does.
It's never going to stop. It's not going to stop. You could have negative thoughts or you can have positive thoughts, and those negative thoughts are going to show up. And then, so you have to really listen to it and tell yourself, and you got to do affirmations in the morning. You got to write down your goals, and every morning tell yourself that you're worthy, you deserve it, whatever really feeds into you producing the results that you want in life. So that asshole just keeps continuing to talk, and everything's an illusion. You can make up a positive or you can make up a negative. And through the coaching, we listen to that voice and we transform it into a powerful voice that's really going to put you in performance and be effective in your life, where you're producing results that really make a difference for your life. And we were talking earlier about we're all going to die. And on our deathbed, the people really want to connect with loved ones and travel and do more things, and they don't do it. And it's like, why not now? All we do is have right now.
Yes.
Right now. So my coaching services, we really dig into that voice that stops you everywhere. We transform it, we shift it, we put you in action around your passion. And I coach you every week. I coach all my clients every single week. And they text me, they call me, and I give them my free extra time because they're paying for a service. And I'm there for them, and I put them on projects to where they do collages. And once they do the collages, whatever lights them up, then we come up with a purpose statement.
Yeah. And
that purpose statement, I got coaching around it. And my purpose statement is to build community through powerful women. Because what really lights me up is a powerful group of women taking each other and soaring like eagles in whatever really matters to my clients and myself.
Right. And I want to go a little bit further with the little voice again. I know for me, my little voice is always saying that I'm not good enough, or that I need more information. You don't have enough information. You don't have enough experience. You don't have enough this. You don't have enough that. And it stopped me a lot in my past. I would, and how I guess generate that story, those thoughts, is that I would want to read more. I want to talk to more people. I want to do more things. And I had to learn, like what you just said, this is just now. What action I'm going to take now? Otherwise, because there's always more things to learn. There's always more things, people to talk to. There's always more. So how do you push back? Well, what is the little voice always says to you? And how do you push back on that voice and keep thriving?
Yeah, that voice, it's loud. It's that Mr. or Miss Asshole keeps going on and on and on and on. And it's just, you listen to it. And mine is, I'm not worthy and I don't deserve it. So I can either choose that, or I can choose that I deserve it and I'm worthy. And then you do an action plan around what you want to do. Because the asshole's still going to show up every once in a while, right? And so through coaching, it's so powerful because you have a second voice.
Right.
And you have someone holding you higher than you hold yourself, and empowering your dreams and empowering what it is that you want to create. So we really dig in with my clients exactly what that is for you. Right. And this asshole's going to show up, and I'm going to read it in a text. I'm going to get a phone call. That's how all of the calls start. I don't have enough information. Da, 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 da. And then what we do in the coaching session is we get you in action with what's possible. Like, what is it that you never get to do in your life, and why aren't you taking actions? And then we get to that impact where look at the results that you created in life. How is that experience like for you?
Right.
And what are those results? And then once you see that you don't have love, you don't have joy, you don't have the money, you don't have the time, we create that time, we create that joy, and we create what that is for you. And then we take actions, and then I put people in action and performance, and then they wind up calling me back and they're like, oh my God, that was amazing. Like, I got coached around, I just did a speaking with Disrupt in Puerto Rico, in San Juan, and I had to call my coaches, and I'm like, I'm not good enough, I'm not experienced enough. Who are these, like, why are these people listening to me? And I got that voice is still going to be there, whether I'm experienced or not. And I've spoken in front of many people and shared my heart and being vulnerable and being of contribution, but that voice still showed up. So I called my coach, and I'm like, I'm in my head, and I'm not like going to be present in me speaking. And then I coached myself. And I coached myself.
Sometimes you got to.
I was like, Lisa, breathe it in and exhale it out, and then just be with the people out in the audience. And once I was able to do that, it was magical.
Right.
And just by taking that action, it was me in performance and me sharing myself, and 150 people got their lives out of me sharing. And it was beautiful.
I love what you said, like self-coaching, because, woo, child, I've had my moments where I had to literally stop in the middle of the street, and say, okay, what's really happening right now? Like, I can't be having an anxiety attack about something that, is not real, or like, especially I know a lot of people, get anxiety over like bills, and I have to like say, okay, well, I just got a bill, that's all that's happened, it doesn't say anything about me. I have to look at, okay, where have I been neglecting, or basically where I'm out of integrity, that word, which is, we can get into that whole thing, which is a whole nother part of podcast about integrity. But all there is to do is really to get into action, like put things in place, like look at where I'm monetizing, look where I'm spending, like look at those things. Like sometimes, if you don't have a coach on hand, like, self-coaching can be very, very valuable, but I can only do that because I've had a coach, in my life, So, talk to me, why women are important to you. I know, I see a lot of groups about empowering women, and it's so beautiful, and especially entrepreneurs. Like, why do you connect with that so much?
Oh, wow. Yes. Well, I shared with one of my friends, she's the founder of Growth Source Academy. I told her I'm launching my coaching business, and I don't really know my niche market.
Well, first of all, what is Growth Source Academy?
Perfect. So in Growth Source Academy, it's a nonprofit. I'm a program director. It's been around since 2014. And we have built a program. It's a 2-day workshop where we coach women entrepreneurs find their purpose, their passion, and turn it into a profession with clarity and confidence. So the 2-day workshop is literally me and Marianne Halverson coaching 30, 50 women in one setting. And it's an experiential 2-day workshop. And then we have a full circle where the women who came out of the last Inner Edge, or in the previous Inner Edges after the last 4 or 5 years, they come in and mentor the women, because now they're doing their passion, their purpose, and now they turn it into a profession. So it's a full circle mentorship, leadership, and it's for women, and it's designed for women, and it's a safe space for women to show up. And why women are so important to me. And I was like, oh my God. So I did the workshop, I got the coaching, I did the workshop, and I got real clear on my purpose and my passion. My passion is to empower women in the world to have a voice, to do exactly what we want, because the way society is, and gender equality, and it's just like no, we have something to say. We have something to stand for.
Yes.
And I want to empower every woman in this world to have their dreams become a possibility and live into that created life.
Yes.
Instead of doing a 9-to-5 job that they're miserable at and they can't even talk to their husband and they want to like not be with their kids, you know, or they're single and they don't have any chance to like live life. And so I shared that with Marianne, and I facilitate and I lead the courses with Marianne, and we work with other nonprofits that have women, where they get women ready for the workforce, or women that want to excel in their business. And it's a collective of women that are entrepreneurs, and it's a 2-day course that really gets them empowered. And then we create community around that. And then now you have a support system so that you're not alone. Because I have this thing called an act where I have to do everything alone. I'm Miss Independent. And then I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. I'm overwhelmed. And then I don't do anything that I want. And the second I reach out to this community of women, all they are is lifting me up. And I'm like, oh my God. And then we're taking this to South Africa. We're taking it to Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to empower women globally. It's not just in New York City.
Wow, that is so awesome. I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that.
Welcome.
You know, I really love that support. And, you know, and you also mentioned the word community, because I was talking to another coach the other day who's a female, and she just, you know, community is so important to her. So why community? Like, you know, why is that so important to you? Like, what do you hope to inspire or get from or contribute by being and creating a community?
Yes. We can't do anything on this earth alone.
Right.
If you look at the biggest corporations and you look at the most successful businesses, there's multiple people on staff.
And that is what stops a lot of entrepreneurs and people, because they want to do it all alone and they burn out.
That's a solopreneur.
Right.
And I don't like Excel sheets. I'm not a great drawer. I'm not a great designer. And in the community, when you build that community, you have that support where it's just like, you're not alone. And this person may know this person and this person, instead of going on Google and Facebook and these women are connected. They're connected to growth and they're connected to networks. And so the community of women, like we have fundraisers, we have events, we have fashion shows, and we just get to connect with one another and take our guard down and take on just being with one another and supporting one another. So the community is extremely important. Yeah. Without community, you're just gonna be overwhelmed and exhausted, and you didn't get shit done. Ain't shit gonna get done.
Yeah. I remember an article I read with Arianna Huffington, and she said, you know, when she was creating Huffington Post, within 2 years she collapsed, and because she was doing it all on her own. And she realized she wasn't taking care of herself. She wasn't really sleeping, and she realized that she was just trying to power it through to doing it all on her own. And she had the next day or next week, I think she said she slept for a couple of days, and then she had to like hire people around her because she realized that she cannot do it alone. And a community of people was immensely invaluable to her in order to maintain and sustain, you know, the Huffington Post. So what are some of the common mistakes you see that women, like as a coach, what are some of the common mistakes you see that women do in business? Oh
my God, they don't share themselves enough. They don't share at all. They're stingy.
Well, why is it important to share?
It's important to share your vision and your dream and enroll people in like what you're creating. Right. And the second you take yourself on and stop protecting yourself in a survival mentality where you're having mediocre results and you defend and you explain, instead enroll and create and lead your vision and things will soar. So women don't share. They don't hire a coach. They do it alone. They don't, they think that they can do it all on their own. So there'll be some clients of mine like, oh, I already know this. And I'm like, but you're in a different space right now.
Right.
You're in a whole different space right now. Let's create something that's like, something that you don't, let's be curiously engaged.
Right.
And then sharing yourself. Like I take myself on so that I can expand and be a space for my clients to come in and like get acknowledged and take what I get out of my coaching and share that with my clients. So I'm continuing getting coaching.
Right. But it's and I hear what you're saying, but and I'm sure that somebody's out there thinking, well, I can't really share my ideas. I can't really share myself out there because somebody might steal it. They might have some fear around sharing themselves. So how do you coach people dealing with that part of themselves, sharing themselves at all?
Yeah, like this is mine. I can't have like anybody, and then there's no results. Like this is my idea, and it's my idea, and the only person that knows about this idea is you.
Right.
And what is this idea that's going to make it into like a company, make it into a business, make it into a product, an app, or something like that? You would just have to enroll people that are up to that same vision that you are. And there's going to be naysayers. There's going to be people that are going to tell you can't do it. That's a stupid idea. And as a coach, you just have to, there's going to be haters. And the more haters you have, the better off you're popping off in life.
Right.
Like, and oh my God, if someone's going to steal your idea, then it wasn't a great idea anyways. Like what? Like if someone's gonna steal that one little idea to make something happen, and go create something new.
Right.
So there's this thing called survival, and we protect ourselves so that we guard ourselves, and we just don't take action on like what we really want because we're in this disempowering context where I have to do it alone. I have to defend myself, and your results are that. So people who don't like to share themselves, it's okay. Hire a coach. They'll coach you around that.
Right. I really love what you're saying too, and about the sharing. It's like, or people worried about somebody stealing their ideas. It's like, well, one, there's only one you, and nobody can't do what you do, how you do, and live the life that you have, or to produce the results that you do. So it's like when I, became a coach, and I have this friend. And he's a coach, and he was helping me out a lot. And, his significant other was like, why are you helping Jimmy? Like, he's a competition. And so my friend was like, called me and like, brought this up. And he said, what do you think about that? And I said, listen, I can't coach everybody. You can't coach everybody. I want to live in a place of abundance, that there's enough for all of us in this pool of coaching that we all can make money. Because I learned early on when I first moved to New York and I couldn't find a job, and I had friends here who would not help me because they thought that I was going to steal their job. And I'm just like, really? Like, it's like, I need money here. Like, help me out. Give me wouldn't even do it. And, and I remember I said to myself, I said, I would never, ever do that to anyone because this person, I might be holding the key to what could be possible for them to pay their rent, to get food on the table, to get that apartment, to whatever. I don't want to be in the way of somebody that job here. Sure. Here's a job. Here's a number. Here's that. That's my commitment as a coach. As I, elevate and grow, like, here's some knowledge, use this for your business. Like, I'm all about empowering and being there for a coach and being there for somebody who's coming up, because I want to come from a place of abundance. So even my clients come from the place of abundance, you know what I mean? I want to pass that on to them, and it sounds like what you're doing with the women, like you're just being an example for women and empowering yourself and like surrounding yourself with these powerful women, and that's why you're growing so much and so fast.
Yeah, and it's so great. Like I remember, and I'll add on to that. Like I remember starting, because I'm also a New York real estate sales agent. And when I first started in real estate, I didn't know 8 years ago, I'm from Miami, Florida, and I did not know how to do real estate in New York City. And I used to go to people and I'm like, hey, can you teach me real estate? They're like, no, you're competition. No, you're a competition. And I, just like you did. And it was so crazy. So then I'm like, okay, these people aren't going to help me. So then I picked the people that would help me. And they taught me how to do real estate. And I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give back. This is why I know I'm a great trainer. I'm a great coach, because I listen like for what my clients want. And like even in real estate, whatever client, I'm of service. And I went ahead and started training and developing agents. And my broker, she was so great. She's like, go train them. And I had that thought, well, if I teach them how to do my job, then they're going to be competition. She's like, no, they're going to rent your apartments. And I was like, I need to do 5 trainings a month. I need to like teach these people how to get a listing, how to knock on doors, how to speak to people. And I made so much more money.
Wow.
Because I was so busy training agents on how to be a real estate agent, on how to get a listing, on how to knock on a door, on how to like be like how to speak to landlords, how to speak to their clients. And I winded up being a top listing agent, and I was the only woman on that list.
Wow.
And it was amazing. So women empowerment, baby.
Right. And it's so true. Like I realized too, like one, when I was catering, what I did was I would make a list of every single catering company. I made a whole spreadsheet. I did. I made a list of the catering company. I made a list of the person I need to contact. I made a list of the email address. So if somebody's like, hey, do you know any contacts? I would like, sure, give me your email address. And I would send them a PDF file of like, this is who you can contact. You know what I mean? And even as when I started doing this podcast and as, growing as a coach and connecting with other coaches, even doing this podcast, helping other coaches have a platform, like they've been like, hey, I don't coach men. Do you want this like protect this person? Hey, I know somebody else who like, would be great for your podcast. And then I'll end up connecting with that person. And then they like share themselves with me. Hey, it's been like this amazing like little community that I've been building even in the Calling Into One practice. This girl named Jennifer, her podcast will come out, Monday. I mean, we connected before and not very, I guess, not in a vaguely way, meaning that we didn't have much connection with each other because it was very virtual. But the minute we did the podcast with each other, our dynamic changed. Like I would reach out to her and say, hey, how do you charge your clients? She was like, here. She just like give me all this information, and she'll email me or text me, hey, what do you think about that? And we would like email, like we've been supporting each other. So it's a great, like sharing really opens the door, the floodgates to the right people to really grow your business really quickly.
Exponentially.
And
on fire too.
Yes,
like whoa, now you have all of these, you have all of these connections and connecting other people. And like you said, like someone gave you a client that you weren't, that they don't want to coach. So it becomes that community of people that like, and you're also of service of other people.
Yeah.
And the second you start teaching other people how to do that, like I didn't know that's what I was doing when I was doing that in real estate. And I didn't know that, like I now know it. So that's why I'm building my coaching business for women entrepreneurs to have a safe space to be relatable to empower them, to look at their passion, to find what that is for them. And I have coaches. You were my coach.
I know. Speaking of that, so let's get into, you don't have to necessarily say about me, but, how has a coach helped you? Like, why is it important that you have coaches in your life?
Oh, God. I had a performance coach, and I had 2 of them, and it was for a leadership course. And it kicks my butt. It kicks my ass, I should say. Like with stiletto heels on, that's what it felt like. And boots. because it was a male and a female coach, and they were together and they were coming at me. And I used to have it that they were telling me what to do. Like, and I'm like, stop telling me what to do. And I was like, wait a second, I signed up for this. And I got my ass tore up, chewed out, spit out. And then I saw my ways of being. And I saw that's how I was going into my businesses, into my relationships, into my family.
Now share, like, what was life like before that? Like, what were you doing? How are you behaving? And then that coach said something to you that shifted your gear, and then you started to like perform and like produce results. Like, how are you being? How are you acting? Like, how are you behaving? Like, can you share that specific moment?
Yeah. So before the coaching, I was resistant. I was resigned. I was an asshole. I was entitled. I was righteous. I was a Miss Know-It-All. And like, you can't tell me anything different. I'll find out. I'll call Google. I'll get on the phone. Like, I got this. I don't need you. I could do it all by myself. And my results were, I left a marriage. I was sad. I had like no connection with my family. I had no connection with my clients. It was like one and done. And I never built the relationship with my clients. I'm like, the more clients I have, the better off I am. And then I was so exhausted. I was tired. I didn't relate to my calendar like as if it's my time. I always told everybody I had no time. I had no money. And I was living into that context. And I wasn't traveling. I had like people around me that were just using me, and I didn't see it. At all. And my coach and in this program got me so clear that I'm powerful and I have something to say. And I want to be fully self-expressed on what really matters to me and share what's important to me. And so the coaching, it was brutal for 6 months, but it was a 7-month program.
Can you recall what would the coach said to you that like really like woke you up?
The impact of the results that I didn't have. Like, I wanted a loving relationship. I wanted money. I wanted more clients that I could connect with. And what the coaching, they just listened to me. And the coaching was just come from love. And I was listening to them as the devil. Like, oh, you're telling me, like, oh my God. And it was just my shifting of the listening of my coaches. And I got that they were there for me.
Right.
I got that they had my back. I got that they wanted me to win. And it's their way of being. And it's not really what they did. It's the way, because they were coaching me the same way throughout the whole program. And it was just, I guess the results that I didn't have and the impact of that really got me present to like, oh shit, these people are here to help me. These people are here to coach me and what matters to me. So I don't know what there was like I know what it was. They told me I couldn't have what I really wanted. And I said, who do you think you are telling me I can't have what I want? And they're like, because you're not in action around that. And I was like, oh my God. I was living in a fairy tale.
Right.
I was living in a fantasy fairy tale, made up little, like, I could do whatever I want. And I couldn't have that because I didn't have the results and I didn't have the measures to be that. And then in a week's time, I demanded my coach. I was calling, I was in action, I was having conversations, I was sharing myself. I was being vulnerable, I was being open, I was being receiving, I was being loved, I was being compassionate, and I was connecting with people. And I made that difference for me in less than 10 days. And the results that I produced after demanding my coach to coach me, like, okay, this is what's in my head right now, and this is what I'm doing, and it's not aligned with what I really want. So they got me in alignment to exactly what I really wanted and in performance around that. And they're my best friends now. Like, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have my life that I have now. And it's like, it's these stories we tell ourselves that I'm
yeah.
not enough, that I don't deserve it, that who am I?
Yeah.
Say anything, and then I don't say anything, and then a year and a half goes by and I don't have what I really want.
And in the same place left the next year.
Even worse.
Right.
I'm in more debt. I don't have the bills piling up, but guess what? The bills are still going to be there.
Right.
Now I got more bills and more responsibility. Now I know how to handle it when it comes in. And it's that coaching was the most powerful coaching I got. And I saw for myself what I really want. And it got me clear on my vision. And it was aligned with what gets me up in the morning.
Right.
Gets me up in the morning is empowering women and my coaching services, my nonprofit, and my clients with real estate. And I have to find 4 more streams of income. Now I have more freedom and more time. Wow.
I need to talk to you about that. It's so funny. Like, I listened to you and your 6 months transformational program. I did something similar. And I remember, like, everything you said is like the resistance. And I guess we kind of click a lot, because I'm like, oh, I got this. I don't need this. I don't need you. And I remember this one coach, she grabbed me and she said, "We are here for you. Let us help you. We got your back. We want to see you win." And I was like, oh, that's right. You're here for me. I'm trying to do this all on my own. And I'm like, I was like, oh, right. That's what I'm paying this money for. For you to help me to win in my life.
Funny how we resist it, and then that's just the human nature, and you have someone to shake it into you, like, we're here to help you.
Right. Let's see what else. I love, like, you said something on your website, and you said, what are some of the right questions to ask yourself? Because I totally agree. Like, I have a client right now that he asks himself the wrong questions. It doesn't give him any results. Mm-hmm. So what are some of the questions that people normally, you shouldn't be asking yourself that does not give you results? Like 3 quick examples if you have off your mind.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, one, I just listen. And the questions that I ask them are like, what's important to you? What matters to you? How is that like for you? I go off of what my client's saying. Mm-hmm. So I listen for and deliver what really matters to them. And then I just really guide them in the questions. So I listen, I get their commitment and their emotion around what they're saying. And then I get them in action around that. So the right questions are how they lead me. Right. So my client leads me. And then we just start like flowing in the conversation, and I let them lead the conversation, but I'm listening and I'm leading with them. Right. And so the right questions is whatever my client's saying. So, I mean, I have like 1,000 questions I could ask my client, and it may not even be on that 1,000 question platform because off of what they are. So it's more of my listening that's going to allow me to have that right question. Right. Like deciding like how they get like to their passion. It's just all what they bring to the table, because whatever they share with me, that's what they want to get out of it. So like, what do they want to get out of life? What's important to them? How much money do you want to make? How much time do you want to have? Do you want to go on vacation? So it's a variety of questions that I do have, all off of listening of what they really want. Mm.
And what are some quick tips that you can, provide for women to like really get them on their journey, on their entrepreneurial journey, that will be of value to them?
Take the inner edge with Growth Source Academy.
That's what you gotta do.
Take the inner edge. No. for them to like get out of like, for them to just really, I mean, I'm my workbook's going to be complete on my website tomorrow. It's a bunch of questions that I've have with my clients, but now it's going to be digitally, so that it's all of those right questions, and it's going to be a free workbook for all my clients. So they can go to TamiZakire.com.
Yeah, so get that free book.
Yeah, get that free workbook, and it gets you thinking, right? Like if you don't know what you want, you're in the perfect place,
right? And
your imperfection is perfect, and being imperfect is perfect itself, because you're like you get to discover like what that is for you. And if you don't know what that is for you, we go find that, we go look for that, we go see which direction you want to go in. And being of a demand for coaching, like I couldn't be where I am today without my coaches. Like I'm not in a relationship, and I am dating someone that really lights me up because of your coaching, Jimmy.
But I tell you, like, you know, you've grown so much since we worked together, and like I remember this very specific moment, and I remember I think you were crying on the phone or something was happening, and you were like, this guy said this, he was saying all this, like calling me, like you asked him a couple of questions about like where he's going to be in life, was it 5 years? He's like, well, that's dumb, Tami. Why do you like, I was like, and I use this because of this coaching with you. And I do this all the time now with my clients. And I said, okay, well, let's look at your intention. And I started reading your intention. And then you were like, oh, yeah, that's what I want. You know what I mean? It's like really getting present to what you're standing for in love. And I'm so happy like that moment happened, because now the people that I coach, they get it now. They can say no easily to the people or that who don't serve them, that it doesn't align with them. It helps you to stop wasting time. Mm-hmm. And
you coached me around that guy. That guy is long gone, cleared that space, and now I have someone that is like, I'm able to like look at my intentions. And I called you the other day, and I'm like, what are my intentions? And even me as a coach, like I gotta call I can't do it alone,
right?
Because I'm so busy building my empire that I'm just like, I need to call a coach.
Right.
And when I get on the phone with my coaches, they get me present to my intention.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going through it. My asshole was loud and clear, right? And I'm like listening to it. So yeah, no, and that's how I coach my clients. It's like, what are they committed to?
Yes.
What is it that you're committed to?
Yes, it's always getting back present to what you're committed to. And then as a coach, holding that space for that to really happen for the client. When it happens, like, oh God, it's like what you want and you're hoping, and like it's so beautiful. And I get very emotional when I'm like, yes, you know, they're getting it. She's found a man that's like in line with her intention, you know, and it's like, I can't wait for the wedding invitation.
Oh, honey, I know you're going to be invited to a lot of weddings. I'm going to be invited to a lot of events and ceremonies myself with these women entrepreneurs. Right? I'm invited to all their gigs.
So we're coming to the end, and I'm going to ask, well, you know, before I do that, I haven't asked this question much. Do you find it hard as a coach when you're around your friends to not coach them?
All the time. All the time. I have this rule, right? Hire me, number one. I'm not coaching you because you can't pay me. Like, you got to pay me to coach you. And I don't, it's hard for me not to coach people. It so is. And I don't want to lose a relationship because I coached someone and they didn't request it.
Right.
So if they request me 3 times in the same space, like, Tami, can you coach me? No, Tami, can you really coach me? No, Tami, can you really, really coach me? Maybe after the 3rd time, I will coach them.
So you say no?
I say no, until they're like, they want to hire me, or they're like, really, so people do call me and they say, Tami, I need your coaching. because I get them in action around like what they're committed to in there. So only if they ask me, but I don't coach them. If I know that they're haywire and stuff, I'm just going to be a friend. I'm just going to listen to them with love and just be there for them. I can't coach everyone. I'm not. I will be walking around with a credit card.
A credit card. The swipe.
Swipe, $50. Maybe I should do that. Hold on.
Listen.
I should sit in the subway station and be like, $25 coaching for 20 minutes.
You know, there is actually an app that you can do that. It's called MOTI, where you can set up your business through this app, and people who can call you for coaching, they pay per minute. And so if they want your coaching, they can definitely you can send them the link to the app and, coach them on the spot. And you don't have to worry about credit card or anything else. It just like take care of everything.
Oh, see, if I didn't share that, I would have never.
Yes, I'll definitely hook you up with that app.
For sure. There were referral fees.
So we're coming to the end. So I'm going to ask you some quick questions that I do everybody, just to throw this out here. So what does a life of love mean to you? Oh,
a life of love. It's just everyone being together and just collaborating and sharing ourselves and community. And I mean, that word love is just so large and in charge, and it's like abundant. So a life of love for me is just being around people who I love and who I can share myself with and be able to like live the life that we're supposed to be living, like traveling and connection and relationships and business working, and not having that conversation around money or time.
Wow. And how do you get out of your way as a coach?
How do I get out of my way? Call my coach. I have coaches for everything.
You got a team of coaches. I need to get more coaches in my life.
Yeah, it's so powerful because at the end of the day, I get in my own way.
Right.
I get in my own way, not anybody else. I'm responsible for myself.
Yeah.
So when I know, like, because I've gotten so much coaching in 4 years that like, and I'm never going to stop. It's just there. I have someone there for me and someone who has my back and wants me to win. So how do I get out of my own way? I call my coaches.
Right. I'm getting more coaches. It's so funny. You remind me of, have you heard of Lisa Nichols?
No.
So Lisa Nichols she's a coach, motivational speaker. She's considered she's one of the very few African-American women who is a billionaire. And she, I forgot, she has a book called Abundance Now, and it's a really good book. And you should follow her on Instagram. She has really great stuff, empowering people and really getting them out of the way. And so she's also was on The Secret, and she was on Oprah one day. It's an old video. She was like, she said, Oprah, how many coaches do you have? And Oprah said, I have 4. And then and Lisa was like, I think I need to hire 3 more coaches. She goes, Oprah has 4 coaches and I only have 2. I need to hire 3 more. So she went and she hired more coaches to help her coach in her own life, which got her to be this billionaire where she is right now. This is the coaches, what she have in her life. Like, what are you doing? So that's telling me I need more coaches in my life right now.
What's her name?
Lisa Nichols.
Nichols. Okay.
Right. What I would say, I'm going to ask you this. What have you learned from your last relationship?
And what's your related? Business, personal?
Personal.
Like love?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. That the last relationship that I had, it didn't go too well.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that I deserve more. I don't have to settle. I don't have to settle for mediocre. We weren't aligned, and I was bending my truth for him to make it work, and it didn't work. And I was just becoming this person that I wasn't happy with.
Wow.
And I'm just like, oh my God, like that's not working. Like this whole relationship is not working at all. And so, yeah, I got that I'm enough and that I'm worthy, that I deserve it. And that like I deserve this romantic love, juicy, yummy.
And that's my next question. What is a juicy love life looks like to you?
Oh, where two people can connect sexually, mentally, physically, and be able to share ourselves vulnerably, like in conversations and being in the same space with friends and family and being able to collaborate and have our hearts like not be broken and just share ourselves and create each other each and every morning for who we are, for the world, and for our relationships. Because relationships are not business or personal, family, whatever. You got to keep working at it. And if you don't work at it, it's going to get stagnant. Someone's going to get resigned. Someone's going to get resisting. And it doesn't work. So creating that love space every morning or before you go to bed at night, and not go to bed angry at that person.
That is so fantastic, and thank you for sharing, and thank you for being on the show. Where can people find you online?
Yay! You can go to Tami Zakire. It's TamiZakrie.com. You can also find me on Instagram at TamiLynn113. That's TamiLynn113. You can find me on Facebook at Tami Zakire. And you can check out growthsourceacademy.com, the nonprofit that I am a program director in. And yeah, that's where you can find me on social media, and you can pick up the phone and call me. My number is everywhere online.
And I really love your Instagram, and I'm going to read something you wrote. So it says, be completely yourself. Everything else feels safe to be themselves.
Yeah.
I love your Instagram. It's so inspirational. And once again, thank you for being on the podcast. And I look forward to seeing you around, and, quickly just who you are for women. I'm very clear that they are out to be transformed because of you and what you bring to the table. This woman is powerful. And I'm so grateful that women like you are in the world.
I appreciate you, and I love you, and thank you for having me on your amazing Juicy Love podcast.
You're welcome.
Mwah.
Mwah.